Wahala, unwrapped. It's so good to know that you are there. My name is Cynthia, and this is brought to you by Pros Nigeria. It's a beautiful day wherever it is that you're watching us from, and I know that it's about to get mind blowing. Now we are heading towards, or rather, we are having conversations ahead of the 2023 general elections, and the youth, the young people are actually very, very much involved. Even though some people just like to believe that the young people belong to a particular candidate. Well, I like to say that that's not true because we have young people scattered, littered all over for the three candidates. But our conversation is not just going to start and end with the candidate. We're also going to delve into their families, their deputies, everything that concerns them. Because I mean, it's only fair for us to know who is going to lead us if they have a stable family or if they married right. I mean, everything involved. So on this particular time, I have Sammy. Sammy, how you
One
doing?
point, thank you.
Yeah, and then I have the Jagaban.
My name is Timothy.
Yes, Timothy Fanem or Fanem Avenda. Which of them will you prefer?
Any of it. I will answer three of them at the same time.
You seem to come. Don't do gentleman. Oh. You are doing
No, I'm
gentle.
not acting gentle. That's me. When the heat comes on, I'll say what
Hey, I like that. Okay, so I'm going to start. I just want to turn it like this.
okay.
You know, I'm going to start with you. How would you describe this particular election? Like very briefly.
Well, the upcoming 2023 elections is one of the most intense I have witnessed. I started voting since I was 18, but this is one of the most intense I have. In fact, the build up to it alone is already intense. And at this point, everyone is fearing that there may be fighting. I pray none of that happens, but I love the intensity, and I must say one of few things like the South is coming back into the Nigerian fold. Initially before now they were agitating. We want to be out of Nigeria. We want to be out of Nigeria, but it's a plus. It's a good thing. The elections is finally bringing everyone back together, and I believe the Nigerian dream will be achieved.
Of the Nigerian dream. Now let's now move to your candidates. Now, whenever whenever we talk about Tinubu Jagaban, some persons usually say, how can a young person in his right senses be supporting Tinubu Emiloko? Like, have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard that several times, but I usually ask about like if you not support Tinubu, who do you want to support of the candidates running for president now?
I
Look at
okay.
all of them now. Look at them. Tinubu is running on the ticket of the APC, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Peter will be running on the ticket of the Labour Party. Atiku is running on the ticket of the PDP. And yes, Kwankwaso, who's running on NNPP.
Mm-hmm.
But look at them. Look at all of them. Why their time in office. All of them has had a portion of public office before. They've held public office before.
Yeah.
Look at their times. Look at their own qualities they have. And while Obi was in office, if you ask most of the people talking about Obi, why do you want Obi to be our president? What do you want him to replicate as a president at the federal level from what he was able to achieve as a state governor? And you hear most of them saying things like, he did not steal money, he did not do this, he did not do this. Well, what about all the allegations against him? Do you want to wish all of that away and just call him a saint? For it's not that easy. You
Mm.
understand? But look at a candidate like Tinubu. Tinubu, haba. We should be begging this man to lead us. Honestly. Because look at somebody who's a first class graduate of Chicago State University. His vice, Shetima,
Yes.
Kashim Shetima. Also a first class graduate of economics. These are people who have accomplished both in the private sector and in the public sector. Why Tinubu worked in the 1980s with Mobile, isn't it?
Mm.
He rose to the top. He worked with Deloitte. He rose to the top in anywhere he went to. There are people who still give testimonies during his time at these places. Testimonies of good. I mean, you can say anything about Tinubu. You can say he's a drug lord. You can call him whatever you want to call him. But you cannot say Tinubu lies.
Okay. Okay.
The confidence alone about him is very it draws people to him.
About confidence, do you think that Tinubu that we are seeing still has that confidence? Because he's more like he can't even work for himself.
Let me ask you a question. When we were going into the APC primary election, yes, it was, in fact, Tinubu had to say if it was not for him, Buhari would not be president. He said that.
Yeah, he said it.
Openly, he did say that. If someone was not confident, he would not challenge the president that way.
Okay.
Can your candidate challenge the president that way?
Can your candidate? Well, that question is not for me. That question is for you. Can your candidate?
I'm just attributing it to the confidence my candidate
You're
has.
asking the question that can my candidate challenge the president in that way? In the first place, my party is not a ruling party, so we don't even have a president as we speak. I always say one thing, and it's very clear: you can't support APC and support Asiwaju Ahmed Bola Tinubu and not look absolute. Okay. And it's simple, it's straightforward. We're talking about a man who has questionable characters. Questionable character in the way that a man who has no moral ground to stand as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and you're telling me he has first class, he worked in Mobile, and is that the basis for which you want to bring in a president? Is that the basis?
No,
you talked about. I'm coming. You said.
Right. Who's your candidate?
No, you don't. I don't even need to say it. You will see it written all over me.
Okay.
That I'm supporting the candidate of the People's Democratic Party.
You introduce him to us. You
Atiku,
have not introduced him to us. It feels
Abubakar.
like Tinubu is a topic of discussion.
No. You asked the question. You said, "Can my candidate stand up to the president?" Right. So I had to respond to your question first, and I told you first that my party doesn't even have a president yet. We are still in the opposition. We're not the sitting.
Okay, so can your candidate match with his? Now he's asking, can your candidate match with his
even
candidate?
His candidate said it and is on record that he will not rest or stop being in politics until he sees Alhaji Atiku Abubakar become president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Oh, really?
That was the promise he made to their leader, Shehu Musa Yar'Adua.
Wow.
So for him to take that kind of a stand, that shows the kind of quality of person that Ahmed Bola Tinubu has seen in Atiku Abubakar.
What do you have to say about what he just said?
Well, he has to show me where Tinubu said something like that.
Okay, so
play back to 1992, 1993, before the SDP primaries. You will know that Atiku, Tinubu, and the rest of them are all political children of late Shehu Musa Yar'Adua.
Yes, you are under the front.
Under the
SDP.
No, not SDP. It was PDF or what they call it, PDF. And Tinubu made this promise. Tinubu has always supported His Excellency Atiku Abubakar. Tinubu gave his party's ticket in 2007 to Atiku Abubakar to run on it. If you don't believe in somebody, will you give your party ticket to the person? No, you will not. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is a man, like he said we should beg Tinubu to rule Nigeria, and I laugh. On what basis, for crying out loud? I said it here in one of the forums that the glory of Lagos should not be attributed to Tinubu. We have Lateef Jakonde, who was the first civilian governor of Lagos State. We knew what Lateef Jakonde did. We know the time of Tinubu. We know what Lagos was.
So what was
now?
Lagos
If Tinubu tells us the yellow and black taxes were everywhere when Tinubu was governor, we know what the touts and the area boys were doing in Lagos under Tinubu.
What was
the little sanity that's coming to Lagos now was at the after Rajiv Fashola and Ambode. When it rains, Lagos it's completely flooded. So is that what you are telling us you want to bring to the national scene? You want to talk of the vice presidential candidate of the APC too? We know Bronu was when he was governor. Okay. Is that what you want to bring to the national scene? So when you talk about all this, I think it's high time. It's high time we young people sit down. I keep telling people one thing. This campaign has to be issue-based campaign. This is not time to body shame. This is not time to insult people. This is not time to call people bad names. Like I said, I told you something off the camera. I said, I don't even want to go into people's private lives. I want to talk about your capability, your ability to rule and govern this country. We're in a very delicate times. Nigeria is sitting on a keg of gunpowder. And 2023 elections is supposed to be like a referendum between Nigerian people and APC. A man who doesn't have a manifesto, who is telling us you continue where Buhari ended. Are you happy with what's happening in the country? You cannot go anywhere in the country now because of security.
Excuse me, you're running off point. There's no time for the time. Campaigns have not started. Manifestos cannot roll out without campaigns.
Oh goodness God!
Do you understand?
No. You know why I don't want to agree with that? I've been following American elections since the year 2000.
Is Nigeria America?
Now,
that's the question you
that is my problem. When it comes to good governance, we say it's America, it's Nigeria, America. But when it comes to what is wrong, you want us to agree with it. The democracy we practice today, the system of government we practice, is still not towards the American system of government.
Okay.
Now, before elections, I'm coming. Before elections in the US, they have what they call the think tanks, where they sit down, table the problems, and profile solutions to them. Based on that is what you now sell to the electorate. You don't have to wait for campaigns. We are not actually campaigning now. Campaigns is going to start officially on the 28th of September. Okay? No. I need to know what you want to do. But our public document has been outside for years. It was even given to the APC in 2015 to run with. They couldn't do anything with it.
Which are the public documents?
Atiku's public document Atiku policies has been out in the public.
Why did he stay with the APC then?
Why did he run out of? He did not run out of the APC. See,
what did he
Atiku
do?
left the PDP.
He lost
Atiku left the PDP. Atiku did not run away. Atiku left the PDP.
Atiku is not even somebody you should be talking about. Atiku left.
I will appreciate if you don't use words that will not be palatable on national TV. Wait. If any right-thinking Nigerian, any right-thinking person should not support your candidate, Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
One, the man is not medically and mentally fit to rule this country. A man who cannot walk on his own, a man who staggers, a man who talks off point. What are you talking about? I've told you, let's be issue based. Take this thing out of this and let us be issue based. And that will be better for all of us. See, even the blind and the deaf can see and hear that this man is not medically fit. He's everywhere. Now tell me why your principal did not attend the NBA conference.
Is it that one that lawyers were fighting and looting everything?
What are you talking about? The simple question, why did he attend? That was a platform for him to sell his candidacy. Why did he attend?
Shettima Dia was a joke to you.
What are you telling us? Are you not telling us that we should go the same way?
Are you not telling us that the president cannot be represented by a vice?
Excuse me, we don't have, he's not just the president. Even at the point of campaigning, he has not been able to come out.
Why are you sweating that he must be there? He's not yet the president, but you're sweating out that he must be there.
Everybody who were there were not president. They were not sitting president. They were candidates in the next election.
Yes,
and all of them came out to tell us, Shettima is not a candidate. Shettima is the running mate for crying out loud, my friend.
Yeah,
so what makes him? I don't understand. So what?
So are you not telling us now? Are you not telling us now that we should vote on that person that will come and be sleeping?
No,
and another person within the job.
Tinubu was busy somewhere.
Busy doing what?
Let me explain to him. His outrage is understood. Okay. You understand? It's the usual youths want to take over thing. You understand? I'm a youth too.
Yes.
You understand? But I will never have that level of outrage for any candidate because I know politicians. I've worked with politicians for long. See, these politicians, you are all sweating and dragging yourselves up and down for. Let me tell you one thing. In my opinion, the article you are sweating out for, if not for the fact that we're on TV, I'll tell you things that you not like to hear about Atiku. You hear me?
See.
But calm down. Let me attack. Let me talk to.
No, let him finish.
Let me talk to the points you raised.
Let him address the points.
Let me talk to the point you raised. You said Tinubu is sick, isn't it, and unable to rule. Could you provide a copy of his medical report here?
This
portrays
the fact that
no,
you don't wait. You asked me a question. You asked me a question. No. Let me attend to it. You said, can I produce his medical report? In anybody in his right senses, will you ask a private citizen to produce the medical report of another person? Does many people's medical report in your hands? Now, do you want to tell me now? Wait. Now, do you want to tell me now that the person of Tinubu,
yes,
who contested for the primary of your party and eventually won,
yes,
and the likes of Amechi and the likes of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President,
yes,
Vice President Osibanjo, and the rest of them, do you want to tell me that if you stand the four of them, and do you want to tell me if you are being honest with yourself, that you are not supporting APC, would you have seen Tinubu and given your private company to Tinubu to run? Simple question. No, I need an honest answer. Would you have?
Let him answer.
Let me answer you then. Point number one. I'm not a card-carrying member of APC. Yes.
Now I understand.
Now,
if you're not a card-carrying member of APC, now I would appreciate I have a card-carrying member because that's who has something at stake. Not somebody who's not a card-carrying member of a political party.
Let him finish.
Let me finish. Number two. See, let me tell you the truth. All along, I've always fancied PDP more than APC. Do you understand? But in fact, when everything started, when the whole 2020 election drew near and campaigns and primaries wanted to come in and all of that, we were all thinking Osibanjo was the best fit. But out of my own research, you know Osibanjo is still the head of our economic team till now.
Is that in doubt?
I'm asking, yes, do you know?
Why not?
Okay. So, somebody who is heading our economic team till now and the country's economy is in this state, will you still vote that person as a president?
Are you asking me?
Okay.
This is the party you are supporting.
Wait,
I'm making points.
He's driving somewhere.
I'm making points. So, if you say Tinubu is not fit to lead and you cannot provide his certificates, there are agencies given the task to verify those kind of things. In fact, INEC has the job of doing that, isn't it? And INEC has certified Tinubu fit to run.
On what basis? And is INEC
on what basis?
Wait,
let me ask you. On what basis is INEC certify Atiku fit to run?
Is Atiku's health in contention?
Is Tinubu's health in contention?
Are you actually in this country?
Yes.
I said it earlier that you cannot support APC and not look absolute.
Okay, guys.
It's not possible.
We need a break.
You can't support APC and look at cake. And not look at cake.
We officially need a break. We'll be back. We'll be back. Wahala Unwrapped, where we talk about the 2023 general elections. I mean, these conversations are not by spirits, are not by old people. They are actually from young Nigerians. It's time for the youth to, say this is what we want, and of course, be proud of what you want. Do not forget to subscribe. Click on the link below. Click, and of course, like us all our social media platforms. Pros Nigeria brought this to you now. So, guys.
But one thing, you have not asked me about my candidate.
Wait now.
Yes, sure, because I'm only responding to what he said about his candidate. So let me know if we're here just because of his candidate or we're here to also talk about my candidate also.
Your violence is strong. Oh, calm down, fair.
Right, okay.
Everybody already know your candidate. It's obviously in front of you. But his own, he doesn't have the cap of his candidate. So we have to be sure of his candidate. And the thing is this. Yes, indirectly, while you're answering him, you're also talking about your candidates.
Of course. Yes.
Now, when we were off, you mentioned something about you wanted to illustrate something to him.
I wanted to clear him of some of the
things. You wanted to clear him. So now, we're going to start with you, and then I'm going to come to you. So you're going to tell us about your candidates now, because it's as if you say you don't come to my dream.
See, when you have a good product, you're always eager to sell it. Okay. You are very, very eager to sell your product.
He's also eager to sell his own product.
I don't have a problem with that.
So, and I want him to tell Nigerians why, because the truth is this. Your candidates, there've been lots of contention. From his health, people are talking about his health, from the fact that sometimes he makes disjointed statements. People have had that as a concern for them, because we experienced something similar in 2019 with the current president Buhari, when sometimes during his campaign, sometimes he goes to different states and then he's falling from the stairs. We had those clips, and then now we are seeing a candidate who is almost similar, and so people are worried. People are like, okay, this candidate, is he even strong enough, health wise? And then looking at some of the several allegations that have been coming up against him. Now, I'll not want to use some words. I'll just call them allegations. For example, they linked him to drugs.
Let me cut it short here. That is not an allegation.
Oh, it's
a rumor.
Oh.
If it's an allegation, the relevant authorities will take it up. If it's an allegation, he can walk into a courtroom and sue Tinubu. So if you have an allegation against Tinubu that he did drugs, why not walk into a courtroom?
But there are documents. But there are documents right from. I mean, I took my time to read the 32-page documents.
I read the documents too. I have links to documents too, as I sit here. I have screenshots of those documents too, as I sit here. And nowhere in any of those documents is it stated that Tinubu has been indicted.
He was in the US.
No. For drug-related charges, where did he say that he was indicted?
He was indicted
so why
in the
wasn't
US.
He convicted?
That's what I'm going to ask you as a Tinubu person. You should know more about that.
Well, I say he wasn't indicted. He wasn't indicted. If he was, show me where he was indicted. Show me anywhere it says that he was indicted in the USA for drug-related charges.
But you know where the document came from, right?
Yeah.
You know where the documents came from, right?
I haven't read the documents off of Bloomberg.
No, I mean, you know the source of those documents.
The documents are from years. Everyone has been into things that may not look very transparent to other people. Even though this may be clearly very transparent transactions, yes, people get into transactions like that. I've been in banking. There are times where I was a marketer for First Bank Insurance way back when I was little. Now there are times when you market the policy to someone, due to the rush and everything and lack of the right this thing, sometimes you sign the person's signature on paper and take it to the bank before you scan it and upload it online. Isn't it? When you say someone doing transactions like it's a shady transaction. No. If you say Tinubu was indicted for drug-related charges, bring it up. If you have it, bring it. But you can't. You just have to just hear from hearsay. You just said, did you do the check? Did you find out?
Okay, so can we ask you a question?
Yes, do ask me a question.
What is the source of your principal's wealth? What is the source?
Tinubu is a politician and a businessman.
What's his business?
There are so many businesses that Tinubu owns. Tinubu owns Oriental Hotel. Tinubu owns TVC. Tinubu owns so many things. He runs Alpha Beta, the one that does cash transactions for states.
The same Alpha Beta that is principal.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Tinubu owns major shares in Nwando.
Go ahead.
Isn't it? If you establish a company and it's very successful and states are patronizing it, will you say that the states you are looting from the states, or you're making money off of what you brought?
You are the one. I don't understand the question you're asking now. You're asking a simple question. What is the source of your principal's wealth?
Anyway,
he's a businessman.
Okay. Can I respond?
No, I've not finished my questions. Now you've talked about he's also been accused that he is tribalistic, and this has been evidenced a couple of times, even with his wife saying that she doesn't like the Igbos.
Let me tell you the truth. The Igbos don't like themselves. Yes. If they like themselves, they won't be butchering themselves in the southeast at the moment, would they? You say about butchering themselves all over Nigeria like that? If the Igbos like themselves, would they be butchering themselves? Tell me, ask me. There's one video I saw of someone eating someone's blood with bread. Someone who likes themselves, would they do that? The other video I saw, the man was pleading just to call his wife and talk to her, say goodbye to her before they shot him and dragged him and threw him in the pit. In that pit, there was so many decomposing bodies. That was in the southeast, Imo State, Anambra State. It happens everywhere in those places.
For your information.
Do they like themselves?
For your information.
Let me tell you the truth. Let me tell you. When this campaign started, we all ask questions about candidates. We want to ask questions about Peter Obi. All these people started saying that he was tribal thing. Nobody else. Tinubu is not tribal. White Tinubu was White Tinubu was a governor in his state. He had so many people not from Lagos State who were members of his cabinet. Even till now, you know this man Joe Igbokwe. He's always talking from Lagos State. He's a special assistant to the governor of Lagos State. His
wife has always said that she has said it several times that she does not like the Igbos.
Where did she say? Could you provide a clip of it? Can you provide a clip of it?
Can I please respond to some of these things?
Let him respond.
Let me start with the last.
Okay.
I have a blood tie with the Igbos. So okay. I won't deny my in-laws.
Okay.
I won't deny my people because I'm defending a candidate. Now, I say one thing and I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it till after this election season. You can't defend APC and APC candidate and not look obsolete.
That will look
Okay.
obsolete. We accept
Now,
the tag.
You can't defend
accept
them
the tag.
because you see
We-
you find it difficult to even defend them in the
Let me
first
tell you
place.
the truth. Not everything
I
looks
left
gl-
you.
not everything- not everything
I left
that
you to
is
have.
good.
I left you
And
to
I would
your
not
time.
even interested in
I
looking
left you to
glittery.
your time.
We want.
Can you just allow me have my time?
We know what we are bringing.
Please, can
You
I?
understand?
Can you allow me have my
We
time?
don't have it. See, there was one of the time Shatima was on TV. He said that.
Can you allow me
They
have
were
my
asking-
time?
They were telling. They were asking him if Tinubu should step down with people like Oshiba and
See,
so.
you are not. You are.
He
You
said
have.
that
You. This
Shatima openly
is. This is
said
what
that
they know you people
Tinubu
for.
cannot step down for little things like that.
This is
Woo,
okay.
let me tell you the
Okay.
truth.
I'm very happy. I'm very happy.
I concord
I'm very
that
happy.
with
All this is
110%.
coming. All this is
Okay,
coming from you.
okay, so
I
let
I'm very happy
concord
with
that
that.
with
So
110%.
allow me have my time.
let him.
Okay.
See,
Let me respond. Allow me have my time. Right now, I am
I think
not.
Abubakar is not someone that should be talking. You should be talking
Can
about.
you allow?
There's somebody
Can you
who sold
allow me
Nigeria's
have my
assets.
time?
How long?
Can you allow me have my time and stop just
Okay,
this, please?
okay.
Go on.
Now-
I want to hear what you want
But
to say.
you.
I'm not.
we'll
I'm
go
not
step
here. I'm not here defending the candidate of the Labour Party. He should speak for himself. But one thing I will not take is for you to come on national TV and downgrade a ethnic group just because you want to portray your point of your candidate.
Nobody's
I will not take that.
downgrading anybody. Let me
Excuse
cut
me.
you short. Nobody's
Excuse me.
downgrading an
Can you
ethnic
allow
group.
me talk?
You understand? No.
Can you allow me talk?
No, let me. You are.
Can you allow me talk?
You are trying to.
Can you allow me
No.
talk? I'm not putting words in your mouth. You
Yes,
said it here just
no,
now.
no.
That Shetima said this.
You
I
are
said that.
trying to
Allow me
misconstrue what
talk.
I- you are trying to
Okay.
misconstrue what I
So
just
what
said.
did you say? Okay, let me allow you. Explain what you said.
He asked me that. People say she asked me precisely about Igbos. Did she say an ethnic group?
Okay, Igbo is not an ethnic group.
No, did she say an ethnic group? No. You can't say I'm demonizing them. She said they say Tinubu does not like Igbos.
Okay.
And
So
even
you now
his
said
wife,
what?
and even
And
his
then
wife has
does,
said.
and I say that does the Igbos like themselves? Do the Igbos like themselves? That's the question.
Are you done now? Can I continue now?
It's a question. Have you answered it?
Can I continue now?
Okay,
Go on, what
let
you're
him
saying.
speak.
Now, I was talking about the Igbos you talked about
Yes,
first.
yes,
Tinubu's wife is on record on different forums.
yes.
The clips are there, the videos are there. Thank God you have the smartphone. After this program, Google it on YouTube. You will see different clips of Tinubu's wife talking bad about
Down,
the
yes,
Igbos.
about the Igbos.
We have known how many times the Igbos have had the Tinubu's daughter, who is the Yaloja in Lagos, have had issues with the Igbo people in Alaba market and the rest of them.
Yes.
It's on record.
Wait a
Okay,
minute.
now
How do you
excuse
hide
me.
the market
Can you
without having
excuse
classes
me?
with the people selling in the market?
Can you excuse
I don't
me?
understand.
Can you
Let
excuse me?
let him finish.
Go on.
Right?
Go on. I'm listening.
There
to
are
you.
different forums where this has happened. That is on one side. Why did your candidate enter into plea bargain in the US? On what basis?
Plea bargain.
Yes, in the US, that he handed over about $400 and something thousand to the American state government. He forfeited it to the American government. Why did he? A simple question. Why did your
Now.
candidate enter into plea bargain?
Now,
Will you enter into plea bargain for an offense you did not commit?
now, let me.
No. Simple question. You know you have been shouting around and I've been looking at you. And that's what is good about you APC people.
Okay.
I don't understand.
No,
I
let
asked you a
him
simple
answer.
question now.
Okay, no, let him answer.
Why did your candidate Ahmed
Plea
Bola Tinubu enter into plea bargain in the
For-
US to forfeit over $400,000 to the American government?
$400,000.
Yes. Why did he enter into plea bargain?
Actually, he was $460 million. he
Okay,
forfeited.
to God be the glory. Thank God you said that.
Now,
So why did
let
he?
me tell you why he forfeited that
Okay.
money. He didn't want the case to drag on.
Which case?
He was accused of something,
Accused of what?
but there was
Accused of what? Name it. What was he accused of?
What? Excuse me.
Simple answer. What was your candidate accused of?
Are you done?
It's a question.
Then you come now. Let me answer now.
Good.
Well, you not let me talk.
Let him answer.
I don't understand.
Let him answer.
Get it, Mama. How do you want me to say something?
Okay,
Now,
pause.
I
Let
started
him-
to say
let him
something.
talk.
You did not even get the figure correct. I'm the one who's trying to tell you about this. What happened? And you are entering my mouth. And how do you want me to talk?
Mr. Man, from what I said, I said about. I didn't give you an exact figure. I said about $400,000 was remitted, was forfeited to the American state government. He said $400 million dollars.
Yeah.
Fine. The question is, why did he forfeit it? Simple.
And
So
I've told you.
allow him to respond.
Let me answer you that question.
No, you cannot
See,
tell him
I
to
said,
not make
wait,
his point.
I said something from the beginning.
Let him make his point.
We are waiting for the 28th of September when official campaigns will begin. Most of these questions will be asked and we need answers to them. Now, since he's going that route, and let me answer him. And another thing, you know why I'm even having issues
Wait,
here? I don't know why I'm even answering or I'm on an interview with someone who is not a card carrying member of the All Progressive Congress, because he can as well deny his statements and said and say anyway he was not a member of the party, he's just one of those that like the candidate of the party, and that's all. Because the question I'm asking now, you have not given me definite answers. Now, if you have told me that in Nigeria we have had issues in court where people have been accused of corruption cases and at the end of the day entered into plea bargain for them to lessen their prison jail terms, for them to and let go away with some of them and let go of some of the money, I will accept that. Now, I will accept that, but since that shows that there was actually a corruption case, the person accepted guilt to enter into plea bargain. Now, do you want to tell me that if my case is properly prosecuted and I know I did not commit an offense, I will enter into plea bargain? No, I will not. So accepting plea bargain is as good as accepting guilt that you actually committed the offense, and instead of facing the real wrath of the law, you are now going through the back door to enter into a plea bargain, let go or forfeit your property that you got proceed from that crime so that you can be let go of it. This is the questions. Now, that's on one side. Let me cut you short. What you're saying.
When you enter into a plea bargain, it does not mean that you are guilty.
What does it mean, please?
Most times when you enter, that's what I was trying to explain to you here.
He was trying to explain.
I was trying to explain it, and you cut me short.
Hey, all right, Wahala Unwrapped. My name is Cynthia, and of course, brought to you by Pros Nigeria. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and of course, follow us on all social media platforms. Now, the tension is high, and we are back, and it's all sweet and nice. The good thing is this: these young people know exactly what they're talking about. Why do I want to be with Tinubu? Why do I want to be with Atiku? And for those who are in support of P2OB, are they as wonderful as their candidate claim to be? That is what it is all about. Now, why should I mean, there's some persons watching who are and listening who are going to say, okay, because of what this person has said, I think I will consider this, or because of what this other person has said, I think I will consider this. Everybody giving us reasons why their candidate is the best. So now, in this final part, I'm going to start with Fanem.
Yes.
I'm going to start with Fanem not because I don't like his views, but because there was a place we stopped.
Okay.
Yes, you were giving us some highlights before he came in, and I'm going to, after you, I will now come to you, so you give us your take. Now, I'm sure we've heard what they call the elevator pitch.
Mm-hmm.
This part is you have 3 minutes to tell me why any young Nigerian should be thinking of Tinubu as a president. I know you mentioned before that we should even be begging Tinubu, looking at, that's what you said. So we just have 3 minutes for you to highlight the major things that you think that we will stand to gain with Tinubu, knowing fully whether there's a lot of controversies surrounding him. But why should Nigerians, why should young people go out on that day and put their thumb for him?
Well, let me tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. There was a day, I'll reference Shetima. He was the time he came on and he said that good people sell ice cream, good people don't make good leaders. I concur with that statement 100%. You know why? A leader has to put his hands in several different jars. When Tinubu came on as Lagos State Governor, yes, that was in 1999. Nigeria was just fresh out of a military regime and everything. In fact, you need to see Lagos that time. It was wasted. What Tinubu brought a lot of things on board, especially when you look at education. Like, wow, most people were clamoring for. Tinubu paid WAEC fees for the whole time he was a sitting governor for students. There was free healthcare for people below the age of 18 and above 65 years of age, isn't it? That's one of the. There was so many different things. Creation of LCD local authorities that they were created. I think 30 or 37 local governments, new local council development authorities. They made it 57. So, and then it solved the revenue problem Lagos was having. Lagos revenue was it 600 million naira internet generated revenue at that time. When Tinubu left Lagos in 2007, it was at 45 million naira, isn't it? These are all facts that are on paper. But when you ask people for coming from, like, Tinubu coming to Nigeria is, let me tell you, to be honest with you, Tinubu happening to Nigeria will be the best thing to happen to Nigeria after the discovery of crude oil. Yes. It is what every young person should clamor. When you talk about a future and you mention people like Atiku or Peter Obi, I simply ask, what was the future for their state when they were leaders? Atiku was a governor before Obasanjo chose him as running mate. What was the future for their states when they were leaders? So how can you want to give a future that you cannot secure for your own people, your own state?
But Atiku has a school. He's doing well in the area of education. Atiku is doing
How
area
is
of
he doing
job
well?
employment for. I mean, an
And
employer of labor.
Yeah, an employer of labor, does that mean he's employing labor for the good of everyone or for himself?
And when you employ labor, it's not for it's for the good of everyone, because nobody has come out to complain that being under Atiku has been disadvantaged to them.
Really?
No. Do you have people that have complained?
That being under Atiku has been disadvantageous to them. Well, we cannot look far. We look at Wike now. Why is he ranting up and down?
Wike is under the payroll of Atiku.
He's not under the payroll of Atiku. I'm talking about people. You're talking about people associated with Atiku, isn't
Yes.
it? I'm telling you, if you have someone who is not contented with associating with Atiku, I'm pointing you to Wike.
Wike is just like a grumpy child who needs ice cream.
Oh, really? You think?
Or what do you think?
I don't think Wike is a grumpy child. I think Wike is going to mess up a lot for Atiku if Atiku doesn't tread carefully.
I mean, there's a picture of them that they are working towards peace.
Okay, that's good for them. When you have a good product, you don't stress yourself selling it. It sells itself. Now, let me clear one notion. Atiku was never governor of Adamawa State. Atiku won governorship election. He was never sworn in before he was picked by Chief Olusegun Obasanjo to become running mate to him. Atiku was the only governor who made it possible for a Christian to be governor in Adamawa State. And since then, there have not been any other Christian. That's Boniarina. That shows you he's a liberal, detribalized, a nationalist, a Democrat par excellence, a unifier. Now, why should they vote for Atiku? Young people are advocating for leadership position. And Atiku has said that in my government, I'm giving 40% of my appointments to young people, the youth and the women. We have seen it even from the appointments he has done so far in his campaign council. Out of his appointment, 4 of the 6 appointments are young people who are less. Some are in their late 30s and mid 40s. That shows that Atiku believes in young people. Atiku believes in working with the young people. Somebody like me, I'm also a young person who is also having an appointment under his campaign or campaign under a support group, which is also campaigning and canvassing for Atiku, because I've seen that Atiku has plans and programs that will better the lives of Nigerians at all spheres, from the old to the young person. Now, why Atiku? As we speak, Atiku from his microfinance bank has lifted 45,000 families out of poverty. The facts are there, the proofs are there, the living witnesses are there. I've had people who have called me,
about that,
one
right?
attested to the fact that they actually are beneficiaries of that. I'll show you the charts after this program. If you want me to show it to you, the charts are there, the facts are there.
In fact,
Atiku is the second highest employer of labor in Adamawa State. Atiku took American University back to Adamawa. Atiku has Faro. Atiku have Gotel TV. Atiku has a lot of industries. Atiku also had Intel that this government, the APC government, went against. You know how many people that company was employing. It was an oil servicing firm. Atiku is a giant in the business of creating employment. Atiku, we know what our economy was before 1999 that Olusegun Obasanjo and Atiku came into power. We know what our economy was by the time they were leaving. We know what our GDP was. We know our GDP growth was over 7 point something. Atiku was the head of the economic team. Atiku and Obasanjo, as vice to Olusegun Obasanjo, were able to pay off all the debts that Nigeria was owing and also seek for forgiveness of all some of our debts by the time they were leaving. There was no debt. Atiku
and Obasanjo brought a lot of growth to our economy. Atiku and Obasanjo assembled right sense minds that were able to handle the spheres of government. With all this, as the vice president, tell me what, or imagine what he would do as president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If anybody is thinking of a better Nigeria, I always say 2023 elections is a referendum between the people of Nigeria and the APC-led government. If we are tired of what's happening, if we are really tired of the economy, by the time Obasanjo and Atiku were leaving, how much was the bag of rice? How much is the bag of rice today? Obasanjo and Atiku left the petroleum at 67, 65 naira per litre. Today, what is it sold in the market? So if we want a better Nigeria, if we want a Nigeria that we will be proud of, and our children will be proud of, and our children will bless us for being able to bring it, then every right-thinking Nigeria should vote for His Excellency Atiku Abubakar come 2023 elections. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to do one little exercise before we go off. You're going to give me your view of Peter Obi. What do you think about Peter Obi?
Well, I think Peter Obi is a very impatient and inconsistent man.
Impatient?
If he was patient, he would not have left PDP. That was his best shot at getting the presidency. In fact, when all the campaigning started, we were looking at two candidates from Southern Nigeria. The agreement within the governance was that presidency comes to Southern Nigeria, isn't it? It was even Delta State Governor who hosted the meeting. 17 Southern governors agreed that the presidency was coming to the Southern Nigeria, isn't it? Now, who was the first to break the rank? It was Okowa. And then, why did he do that? Look at Delta State, for instance. How many months salaries are they owing? Look at the amount of money they get from where, and they still owe salaries. That's the people you want to have in government, and the people you are preaching to. Atiku, he said everything about Atiku being.
I asked you about Peter Obi.
Yeah, but he said everything about Atiku doing this, but even the principal Atiku worked under, he wrote a whole book condemning the same Atiku that he's a criminal.
I said about Peter Obi. That's
Peter Obi, I told you, that was his best shot. Even at this point, he is still loyal to Atiku. Peter Obi, is still loyal to Atiku, as it is now. Yes.
That means he's not to be trusted.
He's not to be trusted. Somebody who does not have his own standing in the scheme of things, how can you trust that kind of person?
Oops. What do you think about Peter Obi?
I'll respond to Peter Obi, but let me touch the Atiku thing you talked about. You said Obasanjo came out to say all the things about Atiku. The same Obasanjo came out in 2019 to tell us that Atiku was the best candidate for this country. That settles that. Now, to Peter Obi.
Okay.
When Peter Obi was leaving PDP, or when Peter Obi announced his departure from PDP, I felt bad. And why did I feel bad was simple. I felt Peter Obi has committed a political suicide. Peter Obi, I would have loved to see a repeat of 2019 presidential ticket of Atiku and Obi. But one thing you can't take away, he's a good man. He's a nice man. He's a nice gentleman. I wish him well. I pray he sees the light earlier enough and come back home so that we can come together and work together and make sure we rescue Nigeria from this military rule, failed and total collapsed government. Thank you very much.
Okay. I wanted to ask the guys something, but I'm going to leave that part. Maybe when I have women on board, I'm going to ask them. I would have said, who do you think is going to make a beautiful first lady? Because I want to make sure I'm seeing a beautiful first lady.
You don't have a problem with that. You're going to be seeing Mommy Amina Abubakar, the first lady of the Federal Republic of Nigeria from May 29th, 2023. By God's special grace.
You already know who it is. It's only Remington.
Hey! Okay, all right, so do not forget to always follow us on all our social media platforms, and of course don't forget to click subscribe. Pros Nigeria, it's still Wahala Unwrapped. We're having this road to the 2023 general elections. Young people are speaking, and it's just better that you listen. See you.